Welcome to another bite-sized PD video with yours truly, Tim Scott. Before we begin, don't forget to click the subscribe button down below and ring the bell so you're notified of all new videos. Today's video is brought to you by the QSSSA. Thank you, Mr. Seidlitz and Seidlitz Education, for the information on this video. Today's video, we're going to be talking about reasons students need to speak in structured conversations. The first reason that students need to speak in structured conversations is that students need practice using new vocabulary. This helps them develop knowledge and skills in multiple aspects of language and literacy. They need help with decoding, which, as we recall, is phonemic awareness and phonics. Also helps them with comprehension and how to use that word in new and unique ways, and it helps develop their fluency in the English language. Second one is control of usage and conventions. As a reminder, conventions are spelling, punctuation, capitalization, grammar usage, which means that how we're using the word in a complete sentence and in multiple sentences, and in paragraphing. So how to write a paragraph using this word or use this word in a paragraph in a correct context. Third one is comprehension of nuances in the language. We all know that English is a very nuanced language. And we'll use an example here from 8th grade science, which is balanced and unbalanced forces. As we recall, anytime that we typically use an ED on the end of the word, it means that that word is past tense. But here in this instance, when we talk about these balances or these forces are balanced, we're using an ED on the end of it, which in this case is a nuance. It's not signifying that it's past tense, but this is an actual scientific term and it's being used in a new and unique way. And students need practice using this, and they need to understand that there are nuances in the language. The fourth reason is opportunities to tell or listen to stories. Stories teach us about life, ourselves, and others. Storytelling is a unique way for students to develop an understanding, respect, and appreciation for other cultures and to promote a positive attitude to people from different lands, races, and religions. This will help you build equity in your classroom, and students will get to know each other in deeper ways. The fifth reason is the occasion to listen to or provide explanations of academic content. This is where students will then turn and talk, and they will talk about, they'll synthesize the information that you've given them in class, and now they're having to explain it to each other in their own language. This helps them interpret the content in their own way, and it helps to and by them explaining it to each other, they develop a deeper understanding of the content. And the last one is interaction with others in different contexts, such as informal meetings, class discussions, and extended conversations. This teaches them that there's different ways of speaking in different contexts, that we use different language. We have a more formal register, we have a more informal register, and they need to be able to use all of those individually. So at this point, you may be asking yourself, well, Tim, how do I have students speak in a structured conversation? Well, it's really, really simple. John Seidlitz came up with the wonderful strategy called the QSSSA, which stands for question. You're going to ask the students a question. They can either then think about the question, write it down, however you want to do it. You're going to give the students a STEM. Now, this STEM can be in many different forms. You can have a general STEM for everybody. You can have multiple STEMs, where you can have a very basic STEM for newcomers or very low sheltered students. You can have a STEM for more, that's more complex for your CAP kids, your GT kids. It's all dependent upon you, but it's very important that you give them a STEM. The STEM directs their thinking, and it's going to guide the conversation. You can't skip out on the STEM. Signal. This is a TPR signal, total physical response. It could be pencils down, thinker's chin, hand on the head. They sit down. If you're gonna have them stand up or sit down, start with everybody standing, and then when they're ready to go, they all sit down. For the signal, wait till you have about 80% of the kids have given you the signal before you move on. Don't wait for everybody. You're going to waste too much time. They'll catch up. Then you're going to have all the students share. They can share with each other. You can have them move around, have A and B partners. You can have them share with kids who have the same colored shoes on, wearing the same colored shirts. It doesn't matter. It's up to you. Be creative. Don't always just do elbow partners. Jazz up the classroom. And then you're going to assess the students. You're going to then call on individual students to share what they responded. You may remember my previous video on what to say when I don't know. This is where that strategy is now going to come into play on this strategy. So if the kids don't know what they said, they should all have a good answer because they've already talked to somebody else. But remember, if you pick on somebody, that they need to be held accountable for their learning. Welcome back. I have brought in my son Ian to be an unwilling participant in this video to model the QSSSA. So our question that I'm going to ask my son is, why is the Battle of Saratoga important? The STEM will be the Battle of Saratoga is important because, and why. So I'm looking for 2 answers from you, Ian. So when you are ready when you can answer this question, why the Battle of Saratoga is important, using the STEM, the Battle of Saratoga is important because, and I want you to jump up.
All right.
So, Ian, why is the Battle of Saratoga important?
The Battle of Saratoga is important because it was the turning point of the Revolutionary War, and we got the French as our allies.
Excellent. So if I was in class, I would then, after he is shared with a classmate, we would then come back together as a class, and I would randomly call on maybe 2 or 3 students using, my preferred method is stick pick, but you can use any method that you want in class.
Thinking back to what we have learned about the Articles of Confederation, I have a question for you that you're going to answer on your sticky notes. The question is, which weakness, in your opinion, of the Articles of Confederation do you think is the most dangerous for the new United States, and why? You're going to use the sentence then. I think the most dangerous weakness of the AOC is blank, because blank. The most important part of this is your because, is your reasoning. I want to know why you think that, okay? Now, the chart on the right side of the screen lists out some of the weaknesses that you can use. Who would be willing to read the first weakness at the very top of the charts? Really nice job. Ali, take 1. Eve, take 2.
Government cannot collect tax money to pay for public goods.
Really nice. And we saw an example of that with Shays' Rebellion. Eve, can you take 2?
The national government does not have a national army.
Beautiful. Another thing we experienced in Shays' Rebellion. The third one, each state has their own kind of money. So if you're traveling from Massachusetts to Rhode Island, you have to change over currencies. Each state only has 1 vote in Congress. So Rhode Island has the same vote as, say, Georgia does, a much bigger colony. There is not an executive branch. Who's in the executive branch? President, very good. And there's also not a judicial branch, which contains who? Supreme Court, judges, really good. There's only that one branch of government, the legislative branch, under the AOC. So think about which one you think is the worst, and go ahead and put it in your sentence stem. When you're finished, you're going to place your sticky note on your forehead to indicate that you're ready to move on. I'm going to go ahead and start your timer, and you can start writing. All right, really nice job, y'all. So the next thing that we are going to do is we're going to share with our elbow partner in an ABBA. So you're going gonna first identify which partner is A, that's gonna go first, and which partner is B. And here's the structure of how you guys are going to share with each other. So partner A is going to read off what they have on their sticky note. By the way, you can take them off your forehead now. Good job. They're gonna say, I think the most dangerous weakness of the AOC is, they're gonna share it with you, and then because, they're gonna give their reason why. Partner B is gonna respond back, thank you for sharing. I agree or disagree with you because, and then they're gonna give their reason. And then partner B is gonna share what they have on their sticky notes. I think the most dangerous weakness of the AOC is blank because blank. And then partner A is gonna say thank you for sharing. I agree or disagree because. Thumbs up, thumbs middle, thumbs down. How much does that make sense? ABBA, sharing with your elbow partner. Really good. If you don't have a partner sitting directly next to you, you can share with somebody close by. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you may begin. I'm going to go ahead and start your 1 minute timer.
The government does not have a national army.
Yeah, basically.
I say this because it's important to have an army for protection.
I feel that it's bad because they have to fight off militia, which isn't big enough to fight.
The most dangerous weakness of the AOC is that there is no executive or judicial branch because they have no leader or Supreme Court. These are needed because the states will fall apart trying to fix problems.
I agree.
I agree. I agree with yours.
Go ahead and wrap up your thoughts and give me your eyes and ears in 5. Great job. Wrap up those conversations. 3, 2, 1. Perfection. So I want to hear what you guys had to say. I didn't get to hear all of them. You can either share what you wrote or something your partner wrote that you thought was very profound. Let's start with Graydon.
I put that the most dangerous weakness of the AOC is the fact that they didn't have a national army. The states are selfish at the time, and they won't help you. They won't help each other unless they are attacked as well. But you could also argue that the money is the worst problem.
Yeah, really nice job, Graydon. We got to live that the other day when you guys were living under the AOC and you were states yourselves. Really nice. Nobody was really willing to help out poor Massachusetts with their farmers' revolts. Really nice. Who else would like to share something either that you said or your partner said that you thought was really great? Graydon, would you choose a buddy that's willing to share for us?
Jaden.
Jaden, it could be something. Jaden, you had a fabulous answer. We talked about it. I want to hear it out loud to the class. Great job, Jaden.
I put there's no executive branch, so like nobody can command the army.
Yeah, really nice job. We talked about that those two ideas go together because if there was a president, he could be in charge and he could create that army. Great job, Jaden. Who would like to share next? No worries, Jaden. Would you choose somebody from this side of the room that looks ready and willing to share?
Saul.
Saul.
No, that's fine.
Same on your side of the room, but that's okay. We'll have Saul share. Saul has a great answer himself. Saul, what do you have?
I would like to sound like Graydon.
Okay, no worries. Would you share it with us?
I think the most dangerous weakness of the AOC is the government does not have a national army, and I say this because you need it for like protection.
Yeah, really nice job adding your because. Beautiful. Now, Saul, this time, would you pick a buddy on this side of the room?
I think JT should share.
JT, all right, give your body language to JT. We're on this side of the room now. Go ahead, JT.
I said I think the most dangerous weakness of the AOC is that the government not being able to collect taxes because they cannot fund anything and they can't pay for weapons of the national army. They are in debt.
Really nice job. I like how you connected the National Army also with the lack of ability to levy taxes. Those two ideas also go together. JT, would you pick somebody from this side of the room for last but not least, and then I'll show you where to place your sticky notes. Ashley, which Ashley?
Oh, that one.
All right, Ashley G. Let's give our body language and respect to Ashley G as she shares.
Mine was the same like as Graydon.
Okay, awesome. Would you mind reading it to us?
Because like they don't have any protection for them.
Yeah, really good. So which one shows us the lack of protection? What was the weakness? So which weakness gave the United States a lack of protection? Was it the taxes? Was it the army? Was it the branches? Really good. Yeah, perfect. And we got to see that yesterday during Shays' Rebellion. All right, ladies and gentlemen, follow me with your eyes. I'm going to show you where you're going to end up placing your sticky notes, just so we can see who said what. So if you said the biggest weakness is that there's not an executive or judicial branch, when I say go, you're going to place your sticky notes here. If you said the greatest weakness is the government cannot levy taxes and it has no national army, you're going to place your sticky notes on this poster here. And if you said that the biggest weakness was each state has their own kind of money, or each state only has one vote in Congress, you're going to place your sticky note right by the Student Center at the back of the room. It is your time now to place your sticky notes. Please stand and go.
As we wrap up this video, I want to give a big thank you to Ms. Ariel Ratchin for allowing me in her classroom to record, and to the students in her second period class. Thanks for keeping authentic and being real. As we I just want to review the QSSSA and Structured Conversations one last time. So remember, we want to ask the students an authentic question. We want to give them a stem. You know, we want to give them not the whole tree. We just want to give them a little branch, little piece of a branch, so they can fill in the tree themselves. We want to give them a signal. This signal is for you, the teacher, to know when they're ready to share. Then we want them to share amongst themselves, want them talking, using the sentences that they created. And finally, we want to call on them and hold them accountable for their learning. Thank you so much. Have a great day.